Okay, this is the down the line view. Let's set up a couple of lines here just to kind of get an idea of what's going on. We'll do one right here. And whoops, that's too far. Right there off his butt. We want to see, do those stay in relationships? And just to be on the safe side, just to see how much I move, we'll go ahead and draw a line there where the flag is. Let's go ahead and advance. Move into the shot. Now we can see that there's a lifting going on of the head and that the butt is moving away from the line. If we look over at the flag, we can see that the camera hasn't moved very much, so most of this is the head moving. Now here's what's happening. We're getting the head ended up, but the butt has moved way inside the line, which is going to cause him to hit the ball a little bit fat and a little bit on the heel. So what we need to work on is keeping that butt out behind us. It goes back to the old saying, I don't care if you are the president, Mr. Eisenhower, you have to keep your butt out. And notice where we finish. What I'd like to see him finish is with his hip almost against that line. Ideally, that would be what we want to accomplish. So the hip would stay over there more. So we've moved quite a bit towards the ball rather than around our body. Okay? Here we have the caddy view, or the face-on view of the golfer. Obviously on a cool morning with lots of dew. We got a pretty decent setup here. If we look at the triangle created here to here, pretty solid, straight across like that, and the club comes straight down the line. What we'd like to see is him to be kind of that same position at impact, except we want to see the line of the club be more this way, so he will have had the shaft leaning forward. So let's go ahead and advance a little bit. Let's watch the takeaway. Good turn. Little lifting there. We saw that on the other view too. Just coming into the shot. Coming in close. Coming in. Now you see what happens here? Is instead of having any shift forward with the club shaft leaning forward, the club shaft is actually leaning backwards or leaning on this line. So it's more of a scooping. Let's go ahead and clear that out so we can really take a look at that. Back it up a little bit. And scoop. Right hand underneath the golf club. We have a breakdown here and here. And instead of turning through the shot, the club is flipped. And we've lost power and direction. Turn through it. Keeping the head down nicely. But you can see how the hip has never quite made it around in the circle. Okay, thank you. Okay, face-on view with this golfer. What we can see is that I'd like to see her hip a little bit more towards the green line there. So that would mean kind of elevating the lead hip and dropping the trail shoulder a tad. So let's see if she pivots on that line. Club's going back. And notice that the hip is moving away from that line. Now she's going to lift. A little too big of a backswing. A lot of fold there in the right arm. Nicely braced up against the trail foot. If we straighten up the lead arm a little bit, I think we'd have a better position there. So let's watch the drive back into the green line. Need more drive. See, it's stopped moving. And she's actually pivoting right now around the back foot rather than onto the front foot. That's been a swing flaw of hers for a long time. And that's what's causing this chicken winging look right there with the hands. So we're going to get her turning through the shot and never quite gets everything moving to the front side. So Amanda, that's what we got to work on. We're going to get you getting to the front leg. Now we're going to start this analysis from this position right here. This is where the golfer should have stopped her backswing. Now watch the hands as she continues to backswing. She's actually going to let go of the club a little bit. There, see that? How she's actually let go a little bit of the club. You can really see that if we just look right there. There's lost some leverage or some control of the golf club. solidly stacked up against the trail leg. Let's watch the club come back down again. Turning into the shot nicely. Pretty good position right there. If I draw a line through the club there, it's just barely outside the target line. So pretty good position right there. Moving on down through the swing. Now the club has gone way outside the hands. At this point, the club should be more in here. The club head should be inside a little bit more. She's going to swing a little bit again off the back leg, hitting off the back leg, a little scoop shot, and lacks the power of driving onto the lead side. Here we have a really good setup. Let's do the same thing we did with the earlier golfer. We'll put a little line right at the head and a little line right at the back side there. And we'll go ahead and put a little line where that barrel is so we can see if the camera guy moves. That's me. We'd like to see those positions stay intact throughout the entire swing. So let's go back. Not a lot of camera movement. He's doing pretty good for an old guy. Look at that, how steady the head is staying here. Beautiful. Little tiny movement forward. Not much at all. Very solid swing. Come a little over the top, but it's acceptable. Look at the butt staying right where it is. The head staying right where it is. Nice turn. Nice turn. Look at that, where the head is staying right there. And then into the shot, staying pretty much to the left. That's a pretty good view right there. That was a great swing. Good job. Okay, the face-on view of the same golfer. Let's see how much forward movement she's going to get. We'll draw a line right about there. What we'd like to see is that her thigh of the lead leg actually move in past that green line on the way down on the forward swing, downswing. Good takeaway. Little collapsing of the knee there. You see that, where the knee's going down? A little falling down of the knee. Instead of getting behind it, she's actually falling a little bit forward. At setup, her spine angle was about like this. See that? Let's try that again. Right, there we go. Right through the head. She's at about that angle right there. You can see, instead of turning around on that line, she actually doesn't quite get behind it with her spine. Her spine is actually moved that way. See that? Okay, and the right knee is posted up a little bit. The left knee is collapsed too far. So let's continue on down and see how much forward motion she gets. Pretty good there. Look at that. Good hip action. Driving to the ball, but then it stops, which creates that chicken wing there. There's no way not to chicken wing if your hips don't get through, because obviously the left arm can stretch a lot further than the right arm in this position right here. So the right arm is holding that club back and losing power. Rotate through. Never quite get the arms extended down the line. And probably not happy with the shot. Well, in the down the line view, today we seem to have had a theme going, so let's just stick with the theme. Let's draw our lines in again. One at the head, one at the butt. See, I'm getting better at drawing the lines in, and then we'll draw a line through the barrel to see how close I stay with the camera, how steady the camera stays. Watch the takeaway. Head staying nice. There, the head's kind of dipping right here. See that little dip right there? Quite a bit, huh? Whoa. That's what's creating the problem right there. That head is dropping, and you're changing your spine angle drastically as you come in. There's a couple of drills we can do. One is pivoting with your head in my hand or against the fence. Pretty good takedown there, but then you got to pull up and away from the shot. Notice now your butt is getting further away from the line instead of staying behind the shot. Falling forward, pulling the club to the inside. The head is moved way inside the feet. Losing some balance forward. You never got rotated around so that your hip was back to this line again, and you probably going to stumble a little forward. There we go. All right, so we're going to work on getting you turning around more and keeping your butt up against the fence. Well, let's not change things now. Let's stick with the same theory that we want the head and the butt to stay put. So we'll do the same thing again. We'll draw the line down there and the backside line down here. That's not a very good line. Try it again. Right there. Good stable setup. Excuse me for the cough. Turn. Now she's moving the head away from the line quite a bit. There's your elevation. And so what she's doing now is she's kind of squatting down, and the butt is moving in, the head is moving up, and she's almost standing straight up at impact. So we got to get her to stay bent over more through the impact position so she doesn't lose that spine angle. And again, we'll just go ahead and go back to the setup and throw that spine angle in. And what we'll do is we'll do it right up. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Whew. Let's draw that spine angle in. Try that again. Now let's watch what happens. And go up. And now, there she loses her spine angle completely. Head's way moved away, and the backside is moved away. On through to the finish. Pretty strong, aggressive swing. But if we can get her to stay more balanced in that position, I think we'll be happier with her results.